Have you ever felt overwhelmed by the chaos of daily life? Does the pressure to meet expectations leave you feeling drained and anxious? You're not alone. Many people search for ways to navigate the storms of stress and negativity. But what if I told you that finding calmness and positivity is not just a dream, but a journey you can embark on? Imagine waking up each day feeling at peace, no matter what challenges come your way. Sounds appealing, right? In our fast-paced world, it's easy to get swept away by worries and distractions. We often find ourselves reacting to situations with frustration and doubt. However, there's a treasure trove of wisdom waiting for us in Buddhism that can guide us toward a more tranquil and positive life. This video is here to share those insights with you. We'll explore practical techniques and teachings that can transform your mindset and enhance your well-being. Welcome to Wisdom Woven, where we delve into the richness of Buddhist wisdom. If you find value in our content, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. There are so many views on this channel, but only 0.2% subscribe. So please take a moment to join our community and be part of this journey toward a calmer and more positive life. In this video, we'll uncover how to cultivate a sense of calm amidst the noise. We'll share simple yet powerful practices that can help you embrace positivity even in tough times. You'll discover how to shift your perspective, build resilience, and foster a sense of inner peace that lasts. So, stay with us as we embark on this transformative journey together. Understanding the nature of the mind, the roots of disturbance. Let's talk about the mind. It's a fascinating place, isn't it? The mind is where everything starts, our thoughts, our emotions, our experiences. But at the same time, it's where all our troubles begin too. If you've ever found yourself feeling restless, anxious, or overwhelmed, that's your mind at work. Understanding why this happens is key to staying calm and positive in life. We often think that external situations, our jobs, relationships, or problems, are what make us stressed. But the truth is, the real disturbance comes from inside, from our own mind. You see, the mind is always jumping around, reacting to things, judging them, labeling them as good or bad. This constant movement, this never-ending chatter, creates a lot of stress. Imagine the mind as a lake. When the water is calm, it reflects everything clearly. You can see the sky, the trees, and the birds flying by. But when the water is disturbed, everything becomes distorted. The same thing happens with our mind. When it's calm, we see things as they are. But when it's disturbed, everything seems chaotic, confusing, and overwhelming. So, what makes the mind so restless? The main cause is something Buddhism calls delusion. Delusion is when we don't see reality as it truly is. We get caught up in illusions, thinking that we need certain things to be happy, or that avoiding certain things will protect us from suffering. This creates attachment and aversion, which are the two main forces that keep our minds in turmoil. Think about it. When you're attached to something, like a job, a person, or even an idea, you constantly worry about losing it. Your mind is always on alert, trying to protect what you love. On the other hand, when you really dislike something, maybe it's a difficult person or a task you hate, you're constantly trying to avoid it. This creates tension and unease in your mind. It's a never-ending cycle of chasing what you want and running away from what you don't want. But here's the good news. You don't have to live like this. By understanding how the mind works, you can start to free yourself from this cycle. The first step is awareness. Most of us live our lives on autopilot. We react to situations without even realizing what's going on in our minds. But when we stop and observe our thoughts, we can begin to see the patterns that are causing us stress. A simple way to do this is through mindfulness. Mindfulness is about paying attention to the present moment without judgment. It's about noticing what's happening in your mind and body without getting caught up in it. For example, if you're feeling anxious, instead of trying to push the anxiety away or letting it take over, you just notice it. You observe how it feels in your body. Maybe your heart is racing, or your palms are sweaty. You also notice the thoughts that come with it. Maybe you're thinking, what if things go wrong? Or I can't handle this. By simply observing these thoughts and feelings without reacting to them, you create space between you and your emotions. This space is powerful because it allows you to respond calmly instead of reacting out of habit. The more you practice this, the more you'll see that your thoughts and emotions are just like passing clouds. They come and go, but they don't have to control you. Another thing that disturbs the mind is our constant need for control. We all want life to go a certain way. We have expectations, plans, and desires. But life doesn't always cooperate, does it? Unexpected things happen. People don't behave the way we want them to, and situations change. When this happens, we feel frustrated, angry, or disappointed. But here's the thing. Trying to control everything is like trying to hold water in your hands. The tighter you squeeze, the more it slips through your fingers. The Buddhist teaching of impermanence helps us understand that everything is constantly changing. Nothing stays the same, and that's okay. When we accept this, we can let go of our need for control and learn to go with the flow. This doesn't mean we become passive or stop caring about things. It simply means that we stop resisting change. We stop fighting against reality, and in doing so, we find a sense of peace. One of the most common sources of disturbance in the mind is our attachment to the idea of self. We all have this image of ourselves, who we are, what we're capable of, and how others see us. But often, this image is based on insecurity and fear. We're constantly comparing ourselves to others, feeling like we're not good enough, or worrying about what people think of us. Buddhism teaches that this idea of a fixed self is an illusion. In reality, we're always changing, just like everything else. Our thoughts, emotions, and even our bodies are constantly evolving. When we cling to a rigid idea of who we are, we create unnecessary suffering. But when we let go of this attachment to the self, we open up to a much more flexible and compassionate way of living. So, how do we apply all of this in our daily lives? It starts with small steps. Begin by paying attention to your thoughts. Notice when your mind starts to label things as good or bad. Notice when you start feeling anxious about losing something or frustrated about not getting what you want. When you see these patterns, remind yourself that they're just thoughts. They don't define you or your experience. Also, practice letting go of control. When things don't go as planned, instead of getting upset, take a deep breath and remind yourself that change is a natural part of life. The more you can flow with life's ups and downs, the more peaceful your mind will become. Lastly, be kind to yourself. The mind can be a tricky place, and it's easy to get caught up in its disturbances. But remember, every time you bring awareness to your thoughts, every time you choose to respond calmly instead of reacting out of habit, you're making progress. This is a journey, and with patience and practice, you'll find that calmness and positivity are within your reach. By understanding the nature of the mind and the roots of disturbance, you've already taken a significant step toward cultivating peace in your life. The more you explore these teachings, the more you'll realize that true calmness doesn't come from controlling the world around you. It comes from transforming the way you relate to your own mind. Now that we've laid the foundation by understanding the mind, let's continue this journey. There's much more to explore, and as we move forward, you'll learn practical techniques to calm the mind and nurture positivity every day. Buddhist practices for cultivating calmness. Imagine standing at the edge of a quiet forest. The wind is gentle, the leaves whisper softly, and in that moment, you feel a stillness that seems to seep into your very soul. This is the essence of calmness, a deep, steady sense of peace that remains with you no matter where you are or what you're going through. But how do we bring that kind of calm into our daily lives, especially when things feel so busy and stressful? Buddhism offers us a way, a path that anyone can walk if they are willing to practice. Let me share with you some simple, yet powerful practices from the teachings of Buddhism that can help you cultivate this calmness. You don't need to be a monk or live in a temple to benefit from these. They are for everyone, for you and for me, right here, right now. 1. Mindful breathing. The power of a single breath. The simplest, most immediate practice is mindful breathing. Right now, wherever you are, take a deep breath in through your nose and slowly let it out through your mouth. Did you notice something? Your mind, even if just for a moment, becomes focused, calm. This is the power of mindful breathing. In Buddhism, we call this anapanasati, which means mindfulness of breathing. Each breath is a chance to return to the present moment. When life feels overwhelming, stop for a moment and focus on your breath. Feel the air filling your lungs. Feel it leave. This simple act of paying attention to the breath can anchor you, pulling you away from the storm of thoughts and emotions that often lead to stress and worry. You don't need special conditions to do this. You can practice mindful breathing while sitting in traffic, standing in line, or even during a difficult conversation. Whenever you feel the tension building, return to your breath. It's always with you, always available, and always capable of bringing you back to calmness. 2. Walking meditation, moving with presence. Another practice to cultivate calm is walking meditation. In this practice, we slow down our walking, making each step a mindful act. Normally, we rush from place to place without even noticing our steps. But in walking meditation, each step becomes a way to ground ourselves in the present. Find a quiet place where you can walk, even if it's just your living room or a small garden. Walk slowly, feeling the ground beneath your feet with each step. Breathe deeply and notice how your body moves, how your muscles work, how your feet touch the earth. This practice is like taking a mini vacation from the rush of life, even if only for a few minutes. It teaches us to slow down, to be present, and to enjoy the simple act of walking. In everyday life, this can be incredibly helpful. Imagine walking to a stressful meeting, but instead of letting your mind race with anxiety, you focus on your steps, your breath. Suddenly, that walk becomes a practice in calmness, and by the time you arrive, your mind is clear and centered. 3. Loving kindness meditation, expanding calm through compassion. Calmness doesn't just come from managing our own thoughts and feelings. It also grows when we cultivate compassion for others. This is where loving kindness meditation, or metta meditation, comes in. It's a practice that helps us develop feelings of goodwill and kindness, both for ourselves and for others. To practice loving kindness meditation, find a quiet place to sit comfortably. Begin by silently repeating phrases like, "May I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be safe, may I live with ease." As you say these phrases, imagine sending those feelings of kindness and love to yourself. Then, extend those wishes to others, first to someone you care about, then to a neutral person, and finally, even to someone you may have difficulties with. May they be happy, may they be healthy, may they live with ease. What you'll notice over time is that this practice softens your heart. It helps you let go of resentment and frustration, replacing those feelings with compassion and understanding. When your heart is more open, it's easier to stay calm, even in challenging situations. Loving kindness meditation teaches us that peace is not just an individual journey, but one that connects us to the world around us. 4. Acceptance, letting go of control. One of the core teachings of Buddhism is the understanding that suffering comes from our resistance to what is. We often struggle to control things, our environment, other people, even our own emotions. But this constant effort to control creates tension and stress. The more we try to fight against the natural flow of life, the more we lose our sense of peace. Practicing acceptance doesn't mean giving up or becoming passive. It means recognizing that there are things we cannot change and learning to let go of the need to control them. This doesn't happen overnight, but with practice, we can learn to accept life as it is, without adding layers of frustration and anxiety. A simple way to begin practicing acceptance is through a short reflection. When something bothers you, ask yourself, is this something I can control? If the answer is no, take a deep breath and practice letting it go. You may not be able to control the situation, but you can always control how you respond to it. This mindset shift is a powerful way to cultivate calmness. 5. Gratitude, shifting focus to what we have. It's easy to focus on what's going wrong in life, but this habit only fuels negativity. One of the best ways to counter this is through the practice of gratitude. Buddhism encourages us to recognize and appreciate the blessings we already have, no matter how small they may seem. Each day, take a few moments to reflect on things you are grateful for. It could be as simple as the warmth of the sun, the sound of birds outside your window, or the kindness of a friend. By shifting your focus to what is good in your life, you create space for positivity to grow. This practice doesn't deny the difficulties you may be facing. Instead, it balances the mind, reminding you that even in the midst of challenges, there are still things to appreciate. Gratitude opens the door to calmness by helping us see that life is not all struggle. There are always moments of beauty and joy if we choose to notice them. 6. Silence. Finding calm in stillness. In our noisy world, silence can feel uncomfortable, even scary. But in Buddhism, silence is a powerful tool for cultivating calmness. When we stop talking and quiet the constant noise around us, we allow our minds to settle. Silence gives us the space to hear our inner thoughts and emotions without being overwhelmed by them. You don't have to go on a silent retreat to experience this. Simply carve out a few moments each day where you turn off the TV, put away your phone, and sit in silence. At first, your mind might race, but with time, you'll find that this silence becomes a refuge, a place where you can reconnect with your inner calm. 7. Consistency. Making calmness a habit. Finally, the most important aspect of cultivating calmness through Buddhist practices is consistency. These practices are not quick fixes, they are habits to be developed over time. The more you practice mindful breathing, walking meditation, loving kindness, and gratitude, the easier it becomes to access that calmness, even in difficult moments. Make these practices part of your daily routine. You don't need to dedicate hours each day. Even 5 minutes of mindful breathing or walking can make a difference. Over time, you'll find that the peace and calm you seek are always within reach, ready to support you through life's ups and downs. By incorporating these simple yet profound Buddhist practices into your life, you can cultivate a deep sense of calm that remains with you, no matter what challenges arise. Calmness is not something that only a few can achieve. It's available to all of us, through practice, patience, and a willingness to slow down and reconnect with the present moment. The power of meditation, a path to inner peace. Meditation is a practice that many of us have heard about, but do we really understand its profound power? At its core, meditation is about creating a space within ourselves, a sanctuary where we can find stillness and clarity. Imagine having a tool that allows you to step back from the chaos of life and reconnect with your true self. That's what meditation offers. Let's start by addressing a common misconception. Meditation is not about clearing your mind completely. Instead, it's about observing your thoughts without judgment. Picture this. You're sitting quietly, and thoughts rush into your mind like waves crashing on the shore. Instead of fighting these waves or trying to stop them, you simply watch them come and go. This practice helps you understand that your thoughts are transient. They don't define you. In Buddhism, meditation is seen as a path to enlightenment. It allows us to cultivate mindfulness, the ability to be fully present in each moment. When we practice mindfulness through meditation, we train our minds to focus, reducing stress and anxiety. This is especially important in a world filled with distractions, where our attention is constantly pulled in different directions. There are various forms of meditation, but let's focus on 2 key techniques: focused attention meditation and mindfulness meditation. Focused attention meditation involves concentrating on a single point of focus, such as your breath. As you inhale and exhale, you direct all your attention to the sensation of the breath entering and leaving your body. When your mind wanders, and it will, gently bring your focus back to your breath. This practice helps strengthen your ability to concentrate and calms the mind. Mindfulness meditation, on the other hand, encourages you to be aware of your thoughts, feelings, and sensations without attachment. Sit comfortably and close your eyes. Notice what arises within you. Thoughts about your day, emotions, or physical sensations. Acknowledge them, but don't hold on to them. This practice fosters a sense of acceptance, helping you develop a kinder relationship with yourself. Now, you might wonder, how can I fit meditation into my busy life? The beauty of meditation is that it doesn't require hours of your day. You can start with just a few minutes. Try setting aside 5 minutes each morning or evening. As you grow more comfortable, you can gradually increase the time. It's also helpful to create a designated space for your practice. Find a quiet corner in your home where you feel safe and at ease. This space becomes a reminder for you to return to your practice. You might want to use a cushion or chair, and consider lighting a candle or using incense to create a calming atmosphere. Consistency is key when it comes to meditation. Like any skill, it takes time and practice to cultivate. Don't get discouraged if it feels challenging at first. Some days will be easier than others, and that's perfectly okay. The goal is not to achieve a state of bliss, but to develop a deeper awareness of yourself and your surroundings. Many people find it beneficial to join a meditation group or use guided meditations available online. These resources provide support and encouragement, especially for beginners. Sometimes, just knowing that others are meditating alongside you can be a great motivator. As you integrate meditation into your life, you'll likely notice subtle shifts. Perhaps you'll find yourself responding to stressful situations with greater calm. You may begin to experience more joy in everyday moments, as mindfulness allows you to savor life more fully. It's like taking a step back from the whirlwind and seeing the beauty that exists all around you. Remember, meditation is not a one-time fix, but a lifelong practice. The more you commit to it, the deeper your understanding will become. Over time, you may find that meditation not only enhances your inner peace, but also cultivates compassion, resilience, and positivity. These qualities enrich your life and positively impact those around you. In Buddhism, meditation is often compared to planting seeds. With patience and care, those seeds grow into a beautiful garden. Similarly, the practice of meditation can lead to profound personal growth and transformation. Each session is an opportunity to nurture your inner landscape and cultivate a deeper connection with yourself. So, as you embark on this meditation journey, remember to be gentle with yourself. Embrace the process and allow each moment of practice to guide you closer to inner peace. Meditation is a powerful ally in your quest for calmness and positivity in life, offering you the tools to navigate even the stormiest of seas. Let this be the start of a beautiful relationship with your mind and spirit. As you explore meditation, you'll discover that within you lies a wellspring of serenity, waiting to be tapped into. With each breath, you move closer to the tranquility that resides deep within you. Embracing impermanence, finding peace in change. In our lives, we often cling to the idea that things should stay the same. We hold on to moments, people, and even emotions, thinking they define us. But the truth is, everything is in constant flux. This is what Buddhism teaches us about impermanence. Nothing lasts forever, and that's okay. Recognizing this can be the key to finding peace amid life's inevitable changes. Think about a beautiful sunset. It's a breathtaking moment, full of vibrant colors and warmth. But as the sun dips below the horizon, those colors fade. The day gives way to night. If we try to hold on to that sunset forever, we miss out on the beauty of the stars that follow. Life is very much like this sunset. Every moment is unique and fleeting. By accepting impermanence, we learn to appreciate each experience for what it is. When we resist change, we create unnecessary suffering for ourselves. We may find ourselves longing for the past or worrying about the future. This worry can weigh heavily on our hearts and minds, leaving us feeling anxious and unsettled. However, when we embrace change, we open ourselves up to new possibilities. We begin to see that each moment brings its own gifts, and we can learn to be present for them. One way to practice embracing impermanence is through mindfulness. Mindfulness teaches us to focus on the present moment without judgment. When we pay attention to our thoughts and feelings without trying to change them, we can begin to see them as passing clouds in the sky. They come and go, and so do our circumstances. By observing these changes without attachment, we cultivate a sense of inner calm. Another helpful perspective is to view challenges as opportunities for growth. Life often throws us unexpected curveballs, job changes, relationship shifts, or even personal struggles. Instead of fearing these changes, we can approach them with curiosity. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this situation? How can I grow through this experience? This shift in mindset helps us to see change as a natural part of life's journey. Buddhism encourages us to let go of our attachments to outcomes. When we're too focused on a specific result, we can become blind to the richness of our present experience. Consider a river flowing gently through a landscape. The water moves constantly, shaping the earth around it. If we try to stop that flow, we create a dam, and the water becomes stagnant. Instead, we can choose to flow with the river, adapting to its twists and turns. Practicing gratitude can also help us embrace impermanence. When we acknowledge the beauty in our lives, even if it is temporary, we cultivate a deeper appreciation for our experiences. Each moment, whether joyful or challenging, contributes to the tapestry of our lives. Take time each day to reflect on what you're grateful for. This simple practice can shift your focus from what is missing to what is present. Additionally, sharing our experiences with others can create a sense of connection in the face of change. When we talk about our struggles and triumphs, we realize that we're not alone. Others, too, are navigating the tides of life. This connection can remind us that change is a universal experience, and it's okay to seek support along the way. As we embrace impermanence, we can find peace in letting go. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means releasing the grip we have on specific outcomes or moments. It's like holding onto a balloon. The tighter we hold, the more we strain our fingers. But if we loosen our grip, the balloon can float freely in the sky, exploring new horizons. Letting go allows us to discover new opportunities and possibilities that we might have otherwise overlooked. Finding a balance between holding on and letting go is an essential part of embracing impermanence. It's okay to cherish memories and relationships while also being open to change. We can hold on to the lessons learned and the love shared, while also welcoming new experiences into our lives. In practicing acceptance of change, we can cultivate resilience. Life will inevitably throw challenges our way, but when we embrace them, we become stronger. Each challenge teaches us valuable lessons and helps us grow. This resilience gives us the confidence to navigate future changes with grace and positivity. Lastly, remember that embracing impermanence is a continuous journey. It's not a one-time realization, but a practice we engage in daily. Life is always changing, and so are we. By committing to this practice, we can foster a mindset that allows us to experience life fully and authentically. In conclusion, by embracing impermanence, we can find a profound sense of peace in our lives. Life is a beautiful dance of change, and when we learn to flow with it, we open ourselves up to a richer, more fulfilling existence. Let go, be present, and trust that every moment, no matter how fleeting, holds its own unique beauty. Embrace the impermanence, and you'll discover a path to lasting calm and positivity. Letting go of attachments, freeing yourself from inner turmoil. In our lives, we often form attachments to things, people, and even ideas. These attachments can seem harmless at first, but they can lead to suffering when we cling too tightly. Think of a tree that tries to hold onto its leaves in the winter. No matter how hard it tries, the leaves will eventually fall. Similarly, when we cling to things that are not permanent, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Buddhism teaches us that everything is impermanent. Our relationships, our possessions, and even our emotions will change. When we understand this, we can begin to see how letting go can lead to greater peace. Imagine you have a favorite toy. As long as it's in perfect condition, you feel happy. But what happens if it breaks? If you are attached, you might feel deep sadness and anger. On the other hand, if you understand that the toy is just a material object, you can accept its loss more easily. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you appreciate things without holding on too tightly. In Buddhism, this is called non-attachment. It allows us to enjoy life's moments without fear of losing them. For example, when you spend time with a loved one, focus on the joy of that moment instead of worrying about what might happen in the future. Embrace the laughter, the conversations, and the love without the weight of expectation. One way to practice letting go is through mindfulness. When you notice yourself clinging to something, take a moment to breathe deeply. Recognize the feeling without judgment. Ask yourself, why am I holding on so tightly? What is it that I truly fear? Often, the fear comes from a place of insecurity or the unknown. By acknowledging this, you can create space for acceptance. Another helpful practice is visualization. Imagine your attachment as a balloon that you are holding onto tightly. Picture yourself slowly releasing the balloon into the sky. As it floats away, feel the lightness in your hand and heart. This exercise can help remind you that letting go is a natural part of life. In addition to mindfulness and visualization, consider journaling about your attachments. Write down the things or people you feel attached to and explore your feelings around them. What would happen if you let go? What are the benefits of releasing that attachment? This reflection can provide insight into how attachments affect your well-being and offer clarity on how to move forward. Letting go can also extend to negative thoughts and emotions. We often cling to our worries and fears, believing they define us. But in truth, these are just passing clouds in the vast sky of our minds. When you find yourself holding on to a negative thought, remind yourself that it is not who you are. You can observe the thought, acknowledge it, and then let it drift away. Practice gratitude as a way to shift your focus from attachment to appreciation. When you appreciate what you have in the present moment, it becomes easier to release the fear of losing it. Take time each day to reflect on the things you are grateful for. This simple act can transform your mindset and help you recognize the abundance in your life, making it easier to let go of what no longer serves you. Another important aspect of letting go is accepting that change is a natural part of life. Sometimes we resist change because it feels uncomfortable or scary. However, embracing change can lead to new opportunities and experiences. When you find yourself in a challenging situation, ask, what can I learn from this? How can I grow? Shifting your perspective can open the door to acceptance and peace. In relationships, letting go may involve recognizing when it's time to release someone who no longer contributes positively to your life. This doesn't mean you stop caring about them, but rather that you prioritize your well-being. Healthy relationships are built on mutual support, respect, and growth. Sometimes, letting go is the best way to honor both yourself and the other person. As you practice letting go, remember to be patient with yourself. It's a journey, and it may take time to learn how to release attachments fully. Celebrate the small victories along the way. Each step you take toward letting go is a step toward greater peace and happiness. In summary, letting go of attachments can free you from inner turmoil and lead to a more joyful life. Embrace the impermanence of life and learn to appreciate the present moment without fear. Through mindfulness, visualization, gratitude, and acceptance, you can cultivate a sense of calm and clarity. Remember, life is a constant flow, and when we learn to ride the waves instead of clinging to the shore, we can experience the beauty of life more fully. Letting go is not a loss. It's a gain, freedom from the weight of unnecessary burdens. The role of compassion, uplifting positivity in life. Compassion is more than just a kind feeling. It's a powerful force that can change your life and the lives of those around you. In Buddhism, compassion is central to understanding how to live a positive life. It's about recognizing the suffering of others and taking action to alleviate it. When we practice compassion, we open our hearts, and in doing so, we also create a space for positivity to flourish within us. Let's start by thinking about what compassion truly means. It's easy to feel sympathy for someone when they're struggling, but compassion goes deeper. It encourages us to connect with others on an emotional level, to feel their pain as if it were our own. This connection allows us to respond not just with kind words, but with genuine acts of kindness. When we show compassion, we create a ripple effect, inspiring others to do the same. Imagine you're walking down the street and see someone who looks upset. You could choose to ignore them, or you could stop and ask if they're okay. That small act of kindness can make a huge difference in their day. It may seem minor, but it's moments like these that remind us of our shared humanity. In those moments, you become a source of light for someone else, and in turn, you find joy and positivity within yourself. In Buddhism, the concept of metta, or loving kindness, is closely related to compassion. It teaches us to extend love and goodwill to all beings, including ourselves. This is crucial because many people struggle to be kind to themselves. When you practice metta, you begin by wishing yourself happiness and well-being. This self-compassion lays the foundation for you to show kindness to others. One effective way to cultivate compassion is through meditation. There's a practice called loving kindness meditation that focuses on generating feelings of love and compassion. You can start by finding a quiet place to sit comfortably. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths to center yourself. Begin by silently repeating phrases like, "May I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be safe, may I live with ease." Once you feel a sense of warmth towards yourself, gradually extend those wishes to others. Start with someone you love, then move on to a friend, an acquaintance, and even someone you have difficulties with. Finally, extend this compassion to all living beings. This practice helps you develop a compassionate heart and creates a profound sense of connection with the world around you. You may wonder, how does compassion uplift positivity? When we act with compassion, we often feel a surge of happiness ourselves. It's like a natural high. Helping others and seeing them smile can lift your spirits. This joy comes not from external validation, but from knowing you've made a positive impact. As you cultivate compassion, you'll find that positivity becomes a part of your daily life, helping you navigate challenges with grace and resilience. Compassion also teaches us about the interconnectedness of all beings. When we recognize that everyone experiences joy and suffering, it becomes easier to empathize with others. This understanding breaks down barriers and fosters a sense of community. We begin to realize that we're all on this journey together, and that can be incredibly uplifting. Additionally, practicing compassion can change the way you view your own struggles. Instead of feeling isolated in your pain, you begin to see it as a shared human experience. When you extend kindness to yourself during tough times, you create a nurturing environment for healing. This self-compassion fuels your ability to be compassionate toward others, creating a positive feedback loop that enhances both your well-being and the well-being of those around you. Sometimes, we might feel overwhelmed by the suffering we see in the world. It's easy to become disheartened and think, "What can I do?" Remember that even small acts of kindness can make a difference. You don't need to change the world overnight. Start in your own community. Volunteer, lend a listening ear, or simply smile at someone. These small gestures have the power to uplift not just the receiver, but also yourself. The Dalai Lama often speaks about the importance of compassion. He believes that our fundamental purpose in life is to be happy, and one of the paths to happiness is through compassion. When we cultivate a compassionate mindset, we not only enhance our own joy, but also contribute to the happiness of others. This shared happiness creates a more positive world for everyone. Moreover, remember that compassion doesn't mean you have to take on the burdens of others. It's essential to maintain healthy boundaries. You can be supportive without losing yourself in the process. Understanding this balance allows you to be compassionate while protecting your own mental and emotional well-being. As you cultivate compassion, don't forget to be patient with yourself. Some days will be easier than others. The key is to remain committed to the practice. Like any skill, compassion takes time to develop. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Each step you take towards being more compassionate is a step towards a more positive life. In conclusion, compassion is a powerful tool for uplifting positivity in your life. By practicing loving kindness and recognizing our shared humanity, we create connections that foster joy and understanding. The act of caring for others ultimately enriches our own lives, leading us to a place of serenity and happiness. So, let's commit to embodying compassion in our daily lives, for in doing so, we transform not just ourselves but the world around us. Mindful living, anchoring calmness in every moment. Imagine walking through a beautiful forest. The leaves rustle gently in the wind, birds chirp sweetly, and the sunlight filters through the branches, creating a warm glow. In this moment, everything feels just right. Now, what if I told you that you can bring this sense of peace into your everyday life? This is where the practice of mindful living comes in, and it's a key element of Buddhism that can help anchor calmness in every moment. Mindfulness is simply the art of being present. It means fully engaging with whatever you're doing at that moment, whether it's eating, talking, or even just breathing. Often, we find our minds drifting away, thinking about what happened yesterday or worrying about tomorrow. When we practice mindfulness, we train ourselves to return to the present moment, to really experience life as it unfolds. Let's take a simple example: eating a meal. How many times have you rushed through your lunch, scrolling on your phone, or thinking about work? When you eat mindfully, you take the time to notice the colors, smells, and textures of your food. You savor each bite and appreciate the nourishment it provides. This not only enhances your enjoyment, but also brings a sense of calm. You become aware of the act of eating, transforming it into a moment of peace. Now, let's explore some practical steps to incorporate mindfulness into your daily life. The first step is to set aside a few moments each day for mindful breathing. Find a quiet space where you can sit comfortably. Close your eyes and focus on your breath. Inhale deeply through your nose, feeling your belly expand, and exhale slowly through your mouth. Let your breath become your anchor, bringing you back to the present whenever your mind wanders. This practice can be done for just a few minutes, yet it can create a profound sense of calm. Another way to practice mindfulness is through mindful walking. This doesn't mean rushing from one place to another. Instead, it's about being fully aware of your surroundings as you walk. Feel your feet touch the ground. Notice the sensations in your body and pay attention to the sounds around you. This simple act can ground you in the present moment, allowing you to experience the world more vividly. Mindfulness can also be applied to our thoughts and emotions. Often, we react automatically to our feelings, whether it's anger, sadness, or frustration. When we practice mindfulness, we learn to observe our thoughts without judgment. Instead of getting caught up in negative feelings, we can acknowledge them and let them pass, like clouds drifting across the sky. This can help us create space between our emotions and our reactions, allowing us to respond with calmness rather than chaos. In Buddhism, there's a beautiful concept called non-attachment. This means not clinging to thoughts or feelings, whether they are positive or negative. When we practice mindfulness, we can learn to let go of our attachments and simply experience what is happening in the moment. This helps us cultivate a deeper sense of peace and reduces the suffering caused by our desires and expectations. One of the most powerful aspects of mindful living is its ability to enhance our relationships. When we engage mindfully with others, we listen fully, without distractions. We become more compassionate and understanding, creating deeper connections. Instead of worrying about what to say next, we can focus on the person in front of us, appreciating their words and emotions. This kind of presence fosters trust and love in our interactions. As we move through our day, we can turn ordinary tasks into moments of mindfulness. Whether washing dishes, driving, or even showering, we can choose to be fully present. Notice the sensations, sounds, and smells. This practice transforms mundane activities into opportunities for peace and reflection. Gratitude is another essential element of mindful living. By regularly reflecting on what we're thankful for, we shift our focus from what we lack to what we have. This simple practice can enhance our positivity and help us feel more grounded. Try keeping a gratitude journal, jotting down 3 things you appreciate each day. Over time, you'll cultivate a deeper sense of happiness and fulfillment. In Buddhism, mindfulness is often linked with the concept of right action. This means acting with intention and awareness, making choices that align with our values and promote kindness. When we live mindfully, we become more attuned to our impact on the world around us. This awareness encourages us to act with compassion, creating a ripple effect of positivity. It's important to remember that mindfulness is a practice, not a destination. It's natural for our minds to wander, and we will face challenges along the way. The key is to be gentle with ourselves and return to the present moment whenever we notice we've drifted. This journey of mindfulness can lead to profound transformations, allowing us to embrace life with open hearts and calm minds. As we integrate mindfulness into our lives, we create a foundation for lasting calmness and positivity. We learn to navigate life's ups and downs with grace, remaining anchored in the present moment. By practicing mindful living, we not only enhance our own well-being, but also contribute to a more peaceful and compassionate world. So, take a deep breath. Embrace the present moment. Let go of distractions, and remember that every moment is an opportunity to practice mindfulness. This journey toward calmness is not just about the destination. It's about finding joy and serenity in each step along the way. Dealing with negative emotions, a Buddhist approach. Negative emotions can often feel overwhelming, like a dark cloud hovering over us, threatening to rain on our parade. But in Buddhism, we learn that these feelings are not our enemies. Instead, they are a natural part of being human. The first step to dealing with negative emotions is recognizing and accepting them without judgment. It's like noticing that a storm is coming. You don't have to panic. You simply acknowledge it and prepare for it. When you feel anger, sadness, or anxiety, take a moment to pause. Instead of pushing these emotions away, sit with them for a while. Ask yourself, what is this feeling trying to teach me? Sometimes, our emotions hold important lessons. For instance, anger might reveal boundaries that need to be set, while sadness might indicate a loss that needs to be honored. By understanding the root of these emotions, you can start to transform them. Buddhism teaches us about the impermanence of all things, including our emotions. Just as the weather changes from sunny to stormy, our feelings are constantly shifting. Remember, no emotion lasts forever. When you find yourself in a low moment, remind yourself that this too shall pass. It's important to cultivate patience and trust in the natural flow of life. Mindfulness is a powerful tool for managing negative emotions. When a wave of negative feelings washes over you, take a deep breath and ground yourself in the present moment. Focus on your breath, the rise and fall of your chest, the air entering and leaving your body. This simple practice can create space between you and your emotions, helping you observe them without being swept away. It's like standing on the shore and watching the waves crash without getting caught in the undertow. Another helpful practice is loving kindness meditation. This involves sending goodwill and positive wishes to yourself and others. Begin by sitting comfortably, closing your eyes, and taking a few deep breaths. Then, silently repeat phrases like, "May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be safe. May I live with ease." As you cultivate these feelings for yourself, expand them to include loved ones, acquaintances, and even those with whom you may have conflict. This practice can soften the harshness of negative emotions and foster compassion within you. It's also beneficial to reflect on the concept of non-attachment. In Buddhism, attachment often leads to suffering. When we cling to our emotions, we give them power over us. Instead, try to observe your feelings as passing clouds in the sky. You don't need to grasp them tightly. Let them float by. This doesn't mean ignoring or denying your feelings, but rather acknowledging them without letting them define you. Moreover, journaling can be a great outlet for processing negative emotions. Write down what you're feeling and why. This act of expression can provide clarity and help you understand the underlying causes of your emotions. Sometimes, simply putting pen to paper allows us to release pent-up feelings and gain insights into our emotional state. Remember that it's okay to seek support. Talking to someone you trust, a friend, family member, or counselor, can be incredibly helpful. Sharing your feelings can lighten your emotional load and provide different perspectives on the situation. In Buddhism, we emphasize community and the importance of connection. Sometimes, just knowing that you're not alone in your struggles can bring comfort. It's also crucial to develop a self-care routine. Engage in activities that nurture your mind and body, such as exercising, spending time in nature, or practicing creative hobbies. These positive actions can create a buffer against negative emotions, allowing you to recharge and regain your balance. In moments of intense negative emotion, it's essential to practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend. Instead of criticizing yourself for feeling upset or angry, remind yourself that it's human to experience a range of emotions. Be gentle with yourself. Acknowledge that everyone has their struggles. Lastly, remember the importance of gratitude. In the face of negativity, take a moment to reflect on what you are thankful for. This shift in focus can create a more positive outlook and help diminish the intensity of negative emotions. Gratitude can act like a light in the darkness, illuminating the good things in life. In conclusion, dealing with negative emotions through a Buddhist lens is about acceptance, mindfulness, and compassion. By recognizing emotions as natural, practicing mindfulness, and cultivating loving kindness, we can transform our relationship with negativity. Remember, it's not about eliminating negative emotions entirely, but learning to navigate them with grace and understanding. Embrace the journey, and you'll find that even in the storms of life, there is always a path to calmness and clarity. The Four Noble Truths, transforming suffering into serenity. Life is full of challenges, isn't it? Sometimes it feels like we're swimming against the current, struggling to keep our heads above water. But what if I told you that understanding suffering is the first step to finding true peace? In Buddhism, we learn about the Four Noble Truths, which provide